When Freen looked at Becky like she was the only one in the room. Intro. The look that spoke 1,000 words. In every generation of showbiz, there's a moment that fans never forget. A split second caught by accident that speaks more truth than any interview, script, or photo shoot ever could. For Freen Sorocha and Becky Armstrong, that moment came not during a scene, not on a set, but in the middle of a crowded room, surrounded by noise, lights, and hundreds of flashing cameras. It was supposed to be just another event. Polished smiles, rehearsed poses, red carpets, and awards. But amidst the chaos, something real slipped through. Freen turned her head, searching for someone. And the moment her eyes found Becky, everything changed. The crowd was still there. The music still played. But to Freen, none of it mattered. Because in that instant, it looked like the world fell away, leaving only her and Becky. And fans felt it. The way her eyes softened. The quiet smile tugging at her lips. The unspoken warmth that could only come from seeing someone who means more than words can ever describe. It wasn't just a look. It was recognition, admiration, love, disguised as simplicity. And that's how one fleeting moment became the moment everyone would remember. The night that redefined everything. It was an awards night filled with sparkle and excitement. Thailand's entertainment industry at its most glamorous. Becky arrived first, radiant in soft pastel tones that matched her gentle charm. Freen came later, elegant and composed as always. Her aura commanding the room's attention the moment she walked in. Fans cheered. Cameras flashed. Every step they took was captured, analyzed, adored. But what no one could predict was the moment that would follow. Unscripted, pure, and timeless. As presenters began calling out names, the camera panned through the audience. And there she was. Freen, quietly sitting, her expression calm. Then her gaze shifted slightly. And everything changed. Her eyes landed on Becky, who was laughing softly at something her co-star said. And in that brief instant, Freen's entire face transformed. Her smile deepened, not the polite public kind, but the kind that reaches the eyes. The kind that says, "There you are." It was the kind of look that felt like a story. A look of quiet pride, affection, and something unspoken. Something deeper than friendship, deeper than performance. The look that traveled across a room. Becky didn't even notice at first. She was talking, her hands animated, her laughter unguarded. But when she did glance Freen's way, it was as if her expression softened too. A split second of mutual recognition. The crowd didn't see it. The hosts didn't. But the cameras did. And within hours, fans across the world were replaying it. Slowing it down, zooming in, captioning it with phrases like, "When eyes find home." That's not acting, that's emotion. You can't fake that kind of gaze. It became the moment that defined the night. A silent exchange that spoke more loudly than the applause that followed. Because when Freen looked at Becky, she didn't just see her. She saw through her. Through the lights, the noise, the roles they played for the world. She saw the person. The laughter, the heart, the quiet strength that had always drawn her in. Love in the limelight. After the ceremony, more clips surfaced. Freen standing slightly behind Becky on the red carpet, her gaze following every step Becky took. When Becky turned to wave at fans, Freen's eyes softened again, a look so subtle most people would miss it, but not their fans. In one behind-the-scenes video, a makeup artist adjusts Becky's hair, and Freen, without realizing she's being filmed, smiles to herself as she watches. It wasn't a grand gesture. It wasn't dramatic. It was real. Fans commented things like, "You can tell she's proud of her. That's not performance, that's admiration. She looked at her like she was art." That phrase, "like she was art," began trending on social media for days. Because truly that's what it looked like. Freen's gaze wasn't just one of affection. It was reverence, the way one looks at something precious, something irreplaceable. History behind that look. That one gaze wasn't born out of nowhere. It carried the weight of shared memories, laughter, late-night rehearsals, and countless quiet moments between takes. Freen and Becky had built their bond through time, from shy co-stars to best friends who understood each other without speaking. There were stories fans only pieced together later. Freen lending Becky her jacket during a late-night shoot, Becky quietly holding Freen's hand during a tough scene, both of them checking on each other when cameras weren't rolling. And maybe that's why that look hit so hard, because it carried all those unseen moments within it. It was a look years in the making, shaped by shared growth, vulnerability, and mutual respect. The world reacts. By sunrise, the clip had millions of views. Fan edits flooded TikTok and YouTube, slowed down, replayed, paired with songs like Until I Found You and I Get to Love You. Some were romantic, some nostalgic, but all shared the same emotion, awe. People who didn't even know Freen and Becky wrote, "You can't teach someone to look at another person like that. That's the kind of love that doesn't need words. Even if it's just friendship, it's the purest form I've seen." And that's what made it beautiful. It wasn't about labels or speculation. It was about connection. About seeing two souls who understood each other so completely that even silence became meaningful. The private moment that followed. Later that night at the afterparty, a fan video caught them in a quiet corner, laughing softly away from the crowd. Freen leaned in to say something. Becky tilted her head, listening closely, and for a moment, Freen just looked at her again, that same look. But this time Becky noticed. She met Freen's gaze and smiled, the kind of smile that said, "I know." It wasn't loud. It wasn't staged. It was tender, real, and heartbreakingly human. That clip never went as viral. Perhaps because it was too intimate, too raw. But for those who saw it, it became a secret memory. A quiet proof that the connection between them wasn't just for the cameras. Ending. Love without needing words. In the end, it wasn't about the awards, the lights, or the fame. It was about a look. One fleeting second that captured everything people try to say with entire novels. When Freen looked at Becky that night, she wasn't just seeing her co-star. She was seeing the person who had walked beside her through laughter, pressure, growth, and grace. And maybe that's what made the world fall silent, because in a single glance, Freen showed what love really looks like when it's unspoken, unforced, and utterly sincere. The kind that doesn't need to be explained. The kind that exists in the quiet between two people who simply see each other. So yes, the cameras may have caught it, the fans may have replayed it. But that look, that belonged only to them. Because for that one beautiful moment, Freen looked at Becky like she was the only one in the room.